I steered
Yeah.
away. It was just really the content and stuff, but I'm gonna just keep doing what's been working for me. The clarity comes through the motion. So I'm gonna just keep posting, even if it gets just a couple likes, even if it don't get no likes. Like I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing because the energy is there,
Mm-hmm.
and still show up. Like I can't make no excuses.
Mm.
Still show up.
Nah, I feel that. Honestly, you said it. Ooh, should we record? I think we're doing. Are we? Oh, we're recording now. All right, yeah. You said it though. You said it. You said there's clarity in motion, and I feel like that's important. Like even if you don't have a specific goal in mind, if you got some motion, you're gonna figure it out. Because when you start moving, ideas start popping. You're just like, oh, maybe I can do this. Oh, or maybe I can do this. This is how I was able to come up with so many different formulas. Like I came up with like 2 different formulas in a day. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I feel like you stagnate yourself when you're always thinking about the things you're not doing. But once you actually start doing them, you start to see it from a different perspective. And you look at it like, oh, okay, I can do this now. I thought of it like this, but now that I got it moving, like, oh, okay, adjustments come. Now I can start doing it like this, or maybe I can do it like that. And then the ideas just start flowing, and now you in motion, you in flow state. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and that's something, I have to remind myself of that, even though I teach my clients that too. Like, I have to tell myself sometimes too, like, listen, we know we have this big vision, but
Mm-hmm.
there's steps to get to the big vision, right? And yes, the clarity comes through the motion, it comes through the decisions, the forward momentum. And with that, because it's like sometimes, and I actually made a post about it today. Um, it was just talking about like sometimes we think we're holding off on doing the thing or making the decision because we're like, oh, I need a little clarity. I need a sign of, like something to give me some type of confirmation. But
Mm-hmm.
that's really just an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
We're just delaying because the thing is, when we make a decision, even if it doesn't turn out the way we want it to, or whatever the case may be, it's going to give us data, it's going to give us information. So we
Mm-hmm.
can't say that we're holding off on taking action and making any moves because we're looking for clarity, because it comes through the movement. It comes through like, okay, I made this decision, okay, it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Okay, I got some feedback here, or I see why that didn't, do the way it needed to do, like, and then it's like, okay, I have more data, so the next decision is more informed, the next decision can be more confident. Every move we make is not going to be confident. I don't care who you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, even if you Beyonce, she's made decisions that haven't always, like, like she may not know how it's going to turn out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple businesses that Beyonce has started that haven't really popped off like that.
Facts.
Like, it all comes through the data of the movement. So
Mm-hmm.
there's really no reason to hide behind, stagnation. A lot of times, and I found, which is what I was talking about today, was when we tend to do that, that delay of making the decision or doing the thing, it's really because our nervous system is not prepared. Our
Mm-hmm.
nervous system, it is afraid, it is, it feels like, what if people judge us, what if nobody sees it, or what if people do see it and they think like I'm, this is wild, or they think I don't know anything, or somebody makes a comment, or whatever the case may be. And so what if they do?
What?
How are like, if we prepare our nervous system for it, like that's the thing, it's like we need to get our nervous system, our body regulated so that we can still show up.
Mm-hmm.
Because Beyonce still got haters. Trump,
Facts.
Trump got plenty of haters, right?
Big
They
fact.
still make fucking moves. Like, that is the thing. And I think that's really the difference between successful people and people that aren't successful.
Mm-hmm.
You see that meme, I've seen that. It was like, really successful people just don't stop, right? Like, you can only fail if you stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's where I feel like I kind of got stuck for a minute, and that's why I pulled back from posting and all that stuff. Like, I got in my head, I got doubt, and then when that doubt creeps in for me, and I think
Mm-hmm.
this goes for a lot of people too, for me, when I have that sense of doubt, I tend to go looking for information. I go like looking at YouTube videos, TikTok videos, and gurus, and then it creates chaos and less clarity because I'm my energy is tapped into too many places. And
Right.
I've been honestly for the past like couple months, and it was like I was still doing things, like still showing up in certain areas of my life, but when it came to this thing, this business, my baby, right? Like I was chaotic. I still showed up, don't get me wrong. Like my sessions with my clients have been bomb, like chef's kiss. But as
Mm.
far as like getting new clients, as far as putting myself out there and being on social media, being visible, my energy was just too it was just too it was,
All over the place.
it was too much.
Mm.
And so that's the thing that we need to focus on. We need to kind of like reel ourselves in. So I like that you talked about like kind of bringing it back to your foundations, you know, like
Mm.
what centers you? Because it's so easy in this day and time where we scroll on TikTok. Like, you know what I mean? Like people, if you really think about how stimulated we are as a society,
It's crazy.
it is wild, you know, and that is why no wonder people struggle to meditate because we so dipped into these screens, music, people like, you know, events going on. Like it's always some type of stimulation. And our
Mm.
energy, like you got to think about how our ancestors lived.
Mm.
Lived so simply,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
had less diseases. They
Yeah.
had, you know what I mean? Like society was completely different because it was more simple. We didn't have all these things tugging at our energy and our, you know, I know I just went on a whole tangent, but
Nah, but you know what though? It's what you said is so you said everything so right and so eloquently. And I think the biggest thing is from what I got is it's one thing to be wrong, but it's another thing to do nothing at all. And I'd rather get it wrong than to do nothing because I'm okay with course correction, right? It's okay to course correct, but you can't correct something that you're not doing. You can't get right what you haven't even tried to do. And I think that's the beautiful thing about a lot of the people that we see. They're not willing to just stop just because they got something wrong. Like they just keep going, even if they're ridiculed for it, whatever the case is, even if people know them for that one simple mistake, they still continue to go and go. Like there's a small few people that I actually listen to for like advice and insight on things, and one of them is Billy Carson, right? Shout out to him. And not too long ago, he did have some backlash with this whole debate with him and this guy, right? Not gonna get into it, but he said that even if he's wrong, he's willing to admit it because even though he does so much research and even though he has all of this knowledge and wisdom and insight, he still gets things wrong sometimes. And that's okay because he's still willing to go back, do some research and be like, okay, I got that wrong. This is what it really is, right? But even in the wrongness, there's still a high level of insight in for somebody else to go back and be like, oh, let me go do my own research to get my own understanding. Because understanding literally stems from just expressing knowledge. Like scientists do it all the time. Your favorite philosophers do it all the time. They get a piece of information and they use their own thought process and thinking system to come up with their own conclusions, right? And then we call it facts. Whenever they patent it and it's like a world renowned thing, we call it facts. But facts is just somebody who was just relentless in their research and in their marketing and in just understanding knowledge, certain knowledge and information. So everything that we're talking about right now, literally, it could be factual, it could be wrong, but it's relatable to whoever needs the information during that time. So the fact that we continue to show up, the fact that we continue to post, the fact that we continue to increase our own knowledge and share that with others just goes to show that we're doing something that a lot of people are afraid to do because they don't want that light. They don't want to get ridiculed. They don't want people saying, "Oh, you're wrong because da 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 da." Like, who cares? Who cares if you're right or wrong? We're still able to have the debate and you're still talking about it too. And I'm the one that put that information in front of you for you to talk about. And I think that's the number one thing too, is that a lot of people want to talk about certain things, but they don't have an outlet to talk about it. And so they use other people like us to talk about these certain topics and things of that nature. And now they're waiting for their moment to be like, oh, you're wrong because like da da da. And it's like, well, do something about it. I'm the one that's putting out the information. So put out your own. Put out your own thesis. Put out your own hypothesis. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and another thing too, I wanted to say before I end my point. Um, so my algorithm on TikTok has changed, right? I've been seeing a lot of content about like growing your platform and like small accounts and how they're growing bigger. And it's a lot of affirming things that I've been seeing lately, but I feel like it's because I've been showing up more on there more than usual. And I feel like this is just confirmation letting me know, like, okay, you're on the right path. Just keep showing up how you've been showing up, and a breakthrough is going to be on the way. And this is confirmation for you, for me, for anybody else that's listening to this, that if you just continue to show up, a breakthrough is going to come. You may not know how it looks, but if you hold the vision of what you want it to be, it's going to come for sure.
Yeah. That's so funny you said that because that was I think that's what I titled my video or captioned it. It was like don't sabotaging your own breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And the point that you said too, it made me think, like, especially I think this could be a perspective shift for some people that may fear doing the thing, saying the thing because of haters, because of, somebody just because they got time, right? Um, that's free energy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, somebody gonna say, like, you don't know what you're talking about, Kalisha. Okay. Thank you for the energy. Cause you still like, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's negative, guess what? We're alchemists. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can transmute that energy. So I don't have to receive it in the way that you sent it, right? Like I can change it and use it to my benefit. Thank you for the free energy. Like, so really, what are we to fear?
Mm-hmm.
What are we doubting? Because even if I'm wrong, guess what? Let's be confidently wrong. So
Mm-hmm.
the next time we can be more right. let's be confidently wrong so we can be more right.
Facts. Facts.
Like I think sometimes we just allow ourselves, and that's the ego. We don't want to be wrong, right? Like we don't want to look stupid. But like at the end of the day, we are all wrong. And honestly, the more we try to be right, we're gonna be wrong.
There's always more to the story than what's told or what's being said. It's always
Yeah.
more. Everything is but a half truth. And I truly believe that, like, everything is just a piece. Like, you carry a piece, I carry a piece. We bring that piece together, we complete the puzzle. So I don't think that everybody is wrong. I just think that everybody has a different perspective based on their outcomes of their life. So when you bring those together, you start to understand more of how life operates or how everybody else operates in their own life too. And I think that once we come to that conclusion and that understanding, we can start bridging more gaps and we can start to actually figure out what is true and what's factual and what works. Because sometimes, I'm not going to say you don't need the truth, but sometimes you need what works, right? Because I don't think everybody really wants the whole truth. And even if you have the whole truth and you deliver it, not everybody's going to believe it. So you need to take the truths that are going to help move the needle forward and just hold on to the truths that you have for a later time when people are more ready for those. So I think truth needs to be put out in increments. Like we could put out the information that we got right now, and that's fact. And then later on down the line, we could put out even more in-depth information because if you put out too much, now people are just like, they're not even ready for that yet. And I felt like that for a long time. Like when I was looking back on my life, my timeline, I feel like I was ahead of myself because the things that are here now, they weren't present in my reality. And I was talking to my mom. This was some months ago actually. We were just talking and stuff. And she was talking about us and our come up, like my sisters and stuff. And she was like, yeah, I saw my sister back. I saw her being like a veterinarian, and I saw my other sister being like an artist and painting because she was so artsy and stuff. But there was no vision for me. But they tried to like put me in different things to see where my vision lied. But it wasn't until I got my hand on like a laptop and a microphone where it's like, okay, he's musically inclined, which means he's auditory. And then I started doing things like, and then I started doing things like this. I started just speaking online. And it's like, where did this come from? Like, nobody was expecting this from me. Nobody was expecting me to really be speaking at this profound level. And I was always speaking like this, but it's gotten more eloquent as I've gotten older and wiser on my years. But I've always been doing this. So I feel like I was ahead of my time with this. And there was no platform for me to really explain it. I had to wait for the things to be built in order for me to fully come out and express the things that I've been talking about or thinking about or working on in the shadows, right? And I feel like a lot of people are like that. Like, there are people who are so far ahead of their times that all they're doing, they're just waiting on the right moment or the right information or the right technology to come out to really truly express. And I feel like it's our time now more than ever because technology is just continuing to advance and it's advancing at a faster rate than ever before. And so the information that we're putting out, it has to have a different spin on it. It doesn't need to just be true, but it needs to be felt too. And I think that's the biggest thing that is different between us and anybody else that's doing this is that people feel where we're coming from. Because that old saying that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's true. Because when people feel where you're coming from, it hits different because they see that you care. They see that you're knowledgeable. They see that the way that you speak is the way that you live. And I feel like that is so important. Having people feel you. You feel?
Feel me? Yeah, no, that's real. And as you were saying that, it just came to mind. It's random, but I was thinking, I was like, even with this podcast, like, don't get me wrong. A lot of the podcasts I follow, at least the ones that I watch, they got the good cameras and all that
Mhm.
stuff. But I'm like, that's not what makes me watch it. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, okay, we have short attention spans and all that stuff, right? Like that they talk about now. So it's like, let's flip the frame every 3 to 5 seconds. And let me tell you, I should have recorded myself doing it, trying to make a video that took me. I ain't even gonna talk about how long it took me to make a fucking like 30-second video. It was that video that I did where I got the I put the camera on the fan and
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong, the video was dope. I was
it
real,
was.
but I was like, I can't do this every day. Like, there's no way. But the aesthetically pleasing is good. But I think we're in a stage too where people want raw. They want authentic. They want, like you
Mhm.
said, they need to feel it. And aesthetics don't make you feel nothing. It looks
Nah,
good to the eye, but
yeah.
it doesn't connect to your heart space.
Mm-mm.
It
It
don't
could it captures your attention.
it doesn't yeah, it doesn't touch on people's heart postures. It doesn't move people. Like, it's really in what you say, it's in the delivery,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what people connect to. So yeah, I'm recording in the middle of my freaking living room. You're in the middle of Hawaii or something. I don't know. Like, but it's not about the visuals. Don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. It is important nowadays, but the message is still going to land for who it needs to land for. You
Facts.
know,
Facts.
that's the
And years later, years down the line, we're gonna look back on these because these are gonna be the archives. These are gonna be like those starting points. I feel like the information doesn't change, but the look of it does. So even if we don't have the look right now,
we're gonna have a
in the
studio.
next
Ah. Claiming it, claiming it. This
claim it, claim it. In the next 6 months to a year, maybe even sooner, the look is going to change completely. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see it, but the information is gonna be hidden different. It's like people will be like, dang, where y'all come from? Because I'll be seeing that sometimes. I'll be like, yo, where do these podcasters be coming from? Like, because I'll see something, it looks good, the information is solid. So I'm like, okay, let me go dig in and see like where they started. And they did stuff just like this. They was in Zooms, people was in their living rooms, on the couches. They had like one camera and they were just doing it. They were just doing the thing. They were talking, they was expressing whatever kind of content and reaching whatever audience they was trying to reach, but that was just the thing. It was about what they were doing, not about, oh, we got to look this way in order to, like, nah, the looks just enhance the information. Because the way that we're speaking right now, with that look, whoo, that information go hit different. It's already hidden, right? The information already hidden, but it's just
Ooh, I'm like, I low key be like, man, we done had some bomb ass episodes. Like, I need people to run it back because,
facts,
like,
facts.
I've sent like a couple of our episodes to my clients for different, you know, like lessons to kind of reinforce. But I'm like, we really have like talked about some topics and it's only going to get better, right? Like, even the conversations that we have that have, like, we didn't start with no topic today and here we are, you know, like, this is what you call divine, right? Like,
Mm,
and the information is there. The energy is definitely there. So when
mhm.
the technology catch up to the
Come on
listen,
now. Come on now.
when we get that podcast editor and
Oh,
like
oh, it's up.
and people, yeah, like, and I'm excited for that because there's people that I follow that I, you know, that I watch, I catch every episode, right? I'm like, oh, next episode's up. Like, it's like a
Mhm.
TV show that I get to binge. And I look forward, I truly do look forward to impacting someone and somebody doing that with our podcast.
Nah, for sure.
They're like, you know, ooh, episode comes out. Like, they're following it. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
just like, oh, here and there, oh, I stumbled across this, but they're actually looking forward to it. And I really am excited for that because we have some good information for people, you know.
Not only that, we got good energy too. I feel like that is so important because
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Like people will come up to me and be like, I've had this happen before when I was living in South Carolina, like when I was doing my Amway thing. Like I would just walk up to people and I would talk to people. But there was one time I was in Publix. I'll never forget this. I don't know why it sticks with me. But there was this guy I was talking to, and I was trying to, get him in on the business, just trying to stir up some conversation just to land my plane. Like, oh hey, by the way, you know why? But he said something to me. He was just like, "It's something about you. I feel like you know more than you lead on." Because I was just talking to him. He was just older guy. We was having a good conversation. But that point always stuck with me. He was just like, "I don't know what it is about you, but you know more than you lead on. Like you know some stuff." And that's always been an indicator for me throughout my entire life. Like it's always I meet people, and then for some reason, they do this. They say the same thing. It's like I don't know what it is, but you know something. You know stuff, and this is like you're damn right, I do. I don't say that. I don't say that, but that's just what it is. And I feel like the energy is more impactful than the information that we're delivering because again it's about that feeling. Like the information is there, like we're always studying, we're always making sure that what we're giving is of substance and of value. But when people feel that energy, it's different. It's like, oh, okay, you know more than what you're saying right now here, right here, and that makes people more intrigued in the journey. They really want to go on this journey with you to see like, dang, what else are you doing? What else do you talk about? What else do you know? Like people just want to be in your energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's, you know, that's ultimately what people want. Because at the end of the day, people want community. I don't care if
Mhm.
you know, you claim you a loner or, you know, what's the term? What do people say? I'm a what's that term? I can't think of it. You know what I'm talking about?
The term lone wolf.
No, yeah, but like the term for people that kind of stay to themselves. I
Oh, like shut-ins,
can't,
something like that.
no, there's an actual thing for it. Anywho, but you know what I'm saying? Like people like that.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, everybody wants community. That's how we're built,
X.
right? Like community equaled like better odds of survival in the past, right? Like it meant, you know, you had better odds, better chances, and more success. And
Mm,
so I think being magnetic,
mm,
having good energy is really what we all kind of want, you know, at least if you're
mhm,
in the space of trying to better yourselves and everything, because we all like community is where it's at. Even if you're on that part of your journey, like that's like you tend to be more isolated, That's still
Mhm.
temporary, right? Like it's not a forever thing. Like we still need people around us because that's how we level up, right? Like having people that are further than us, having people that challenge us, having people that validate us and they affirm us like when we need it. Like
Mhm.
we need different people for different things. So, and I think, at the end of the day, like improving your mental, your
Mhm.
spiritual, your emotional health, like all of those things increases your magnetic field, your aura, and that's why people, tend to gravitate towards like, people like us. And I used to wonder, I'd be like, literally, I'll end up in the grocery store and somebody tell me their life story. I'm like, how did we get here? Like, I legit would be like, I don't understand. And this would keep happening, like the most random places. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
where you just being like, you just be like, hey, how you doing? And not like even your normal, like, go all out, like, hey, how you doing? Like,
Yeah.
people would dive in and be like, yeah, like, and it made me think, it makes me think about these episodes on like Grey's Anatomy and stuff.
Oh
Because
wow.
you always end up having, somebody like randomly says, like, oh, they got their partner on their hospital bed and they're like, you know,
Yeah, confession.
here he talks about like doing this and I always say no. And it's like this random, you know what I mean? But like people just give their story. And but that's the energy, right? Because it's warm, it's inviting.
Mm.
Like people are attracted to it. And I think, just the more authentic we are, the more that we again stretch and expand ourselves, with
Mhm.
knowledge, with and not even just knowledge but wisdom, right? Like actually utilizing the knowledge that we've learned.
Mhm.
If you're listening to this podcast, like things like that, you are increasing your energetic field,
Mhm.
and that is going to attract people. It's going to bring community to you. So even if you're in a space, and I don't know, this must be for somebody, but even if you're in a space where it's feeling a little lonely, because it can be, the journey can be very lonely, especially if you're a first,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, for
First in your family, the first to do this in your community, like the first to, especially if you're like, I always felt like, the black sheep of the family, right?
mm.
Because I was the one that asked the questions. I was not the one that's like, I am not just a ride or die. Listen, I can, but I
Mm.
got questions. Like I
Mm.
I need to know what I'm standing for. Like what am I heading towards? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even if I don't have the A through Z, but I got questions like who all going?
Mm.
What like what's all gonna be there when we get there? Like
Facts.
I've always been that type of person. And when I was younger and my family, that was shunned upon. Because, like, why are you asking questions? Why aren't you just following and listening? Right? Like, you're not being submissive. And I was never that person.
Mm.
Even in the military, which is it's still wild to me that I joined the military with that personality, but that's why my nickname was Questions. Because, like, that's the questions. And so it can be lonely if you're the first, if you're the challenger, if you're the person that sees kind of, like my dad. It's so interesting when I grew up, like my dad used to always say, look at the whole picture, look at the whole picture. And he's the one, love my dad to death, but he's the like all the way left field Jehovah's Witness, and it's black and very black and white. And really not even black and white. Like it's like his way,
Mm.
And he has good intentions, but it's still very limited, in his perspective. So it's so interesting that he would tell me to like look at the big picture and all these things. And it's like, but if we looking at the big picture, there's more than just what we think is right and wrong, like you were saying, right? Like there's
Mm.
a little right and a little wrong in everything. Like, and it
Yeah.
depends on who you ask. So it's like, I know I'm, kind of going around here, but it's like I think it's so important for people at the end of the day to just stay true to yourself. I think that's my message, to stay true to you, because the more that you do, your people will find you. If you found us,
Yeah.
yes, like we your people, listen, we family now. So
Mm.
if you are on this journey, because it could be lonely, it could be isolating, but the more that you keep growing and expanding, so will your community, so will your confidence.
Mm.
So will the momentum, so will the clarity, but you
Mm.
got to keep moving. You got to
Got,
keep making decisions.
got to, for real. And honestly, like the more you work on yourself, the more of a magnet you become too. Like it's automatic. You can't help it. You're gonna attract people, and not only that, the right people in your life, because you become that which you see. You become a mirror for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So it's automatic. You're going to attract the right people in your life, and people are attracted to people who attract people. If that makes sense, because we're the type of people that attract a lot of the great, good people and people that need help too, as well. And so, community is something like for me, it's changed. It's changed a lot. I feel like at one point, community meant something different, like back in the day, as opposed to what it is now. And I feel like it's taken on a different tone. Like community looks so different now, like because it used to be just in your neighborhood, but now it's worldwide. So now you can have a community of people from all different nations, from all different backgrounds, colors, and everything. But we have a mutual understanding, and then we come together, and that's what creates communities now. And then those people connect with each other, and now it's a trap, right? And that old saying, it takes a village to raise a child, or whatever the case is. A village is huge. Like villages are huge, if you ever notice. And the beautiful thing about a village is that it gives you perspective, not only on life, but perspective of yourself. And a village allows you to challenge your thought process, because when you're by yourself for too long, you can you can tend to just fall on your own thinking and on your own understanding and go with that. And then somebody comes and challenges it, and then you're offended. But really, in reality, that's the whole purpose of a community. That's the whole purpose of having more people in your circle. They challenge you, and you need people to challenge your thought process. Like just now, you challenged my thought process with this video. I was about to sell it for $5, and now I've changed it to 47. That's a challenge. And I had to, and I needed that so that way I can move forward and progress and grow in my life. And so I feel like a lot of people, the reason they don't grow is because they're not going through any challenges. Like you're going through challenges right now, your own personal challenges. But once you've overcome those, you have to find a new challenge. You have to find somebody else who is willing to challenge your thought process so that way you can grow and evolve even further. They're not trying to disagree with you. They're just trying to help you grow and elevate and see things from a broader perspective. Because sometimes your perspective can look like this when the in actuality it's really like this. But it's up to you to look at it from that perspective, so that way you can be like, okay, I can use this, and this, and now you create your own framework. Now you create a framework that you can help other people to uplift and rise and become greater versions of themselves. And that's why we do this, what we do right here, because we want to challenge each other, but we also want to challenge the viewers as well to look at things from a different perspective, because that's what we're here for. Like, it's not the easiest work in the world to do, but it's the work that lasts a lifetime. Like you can be easily entertained by something, and that'll give you just a short sense of comfort, like a momentary sense of comfort. But this right here, this type of information, these type of topics and conversations, they last a lifetime because they stick with you. And so that's the beautiful thing about community. That's the beautiful thing about these conversations. That's the beautiful thing about the way that we operate in life.
Yeah. And that's good. And I think you made me think about something too, because I think I was thinking of somebody like watching this video and they're like, well, I don't got the person, they're not challenging me to like be better. So I have something for you. If you have people in your community, right, that still like maybe they are haters or maybe they're that negative Nancy type of person that like they got a problem for every solution type of thing. Maybe they always are challenging you in a way, but maybe it does have like a negative intent, a negative energy behind it. That's okay, because again, you can transmute the energy, right? So even though they might have a negative energy that they're, challenging you and things like that, you can still receive it in a way that says like, hey, how can I utilize what they're saying to improve? Right? Like, how can I take what they're saying? If they're saying like, oh, this ain't gonna work, or, oh, whatever the case may be, right? Like, there isn't a solution to every problem. There's multiple solutions.
Mm,
So even though they may be giving it in a negative energy, you can still receive it for, you know, take it so that you can level up, so that you can improve, so that you can better yourselves and, and create more success. We don't have to stay in the same energy that people around us are in. Like,
mm,
again, we are alchemists. We can transmute the energy. So no matter what somebody sends your way, a negative comment, feedback, whatever it is, the haters, they're always going to be there.
mm,
You don't have to, how they say stoop to somebody's level. Like it's the same thing. Like you can shift the energy. You can receive it in a different way. How can I use what they're saying? Because the thing is, even if it is a hater, right, at the end of the day, like, again, there's truth in everything. So how can we take what they're saying? Because maybe there's something there that I can, oh, maybe I can fact check this and, ooh, that made me think of this other framework. That made me think of this other thing. Or I see there's a potential problem here in people that think this way. Like we can create solutions from all these problems that people bring to us, all the things that people say that, oh, you can't do this, or you don't have whatever to do this to be successful.
mm,
We can always turn it into something. Like that is the power that we have. And I think it's just in the mindset that we have and not just taking the energy from them and receiving it in that energy, right? Like not taking what they're saying as fact.
mm,
I'm gonna take what you say, I'm gonna, take it with a grain of salt, very fine grain of salt, and do what I'm gonna do with it so that I can expand it.
mm. Okay. I like that. And you know what? You said something too that was important too, about how your family dynamic, how you came up. I feel and resonate with that a lot too, because it's like you're the one that made it out. I'm the one that quote unquote made it out. And what I mean by that is
Got
you
out the
made
mud.
got it out the mud. But you was willing to take a path that a lot of people were afraid to take because you made the decision that you wanted to not only live life on your terms, but you wanted more understanding. You didn't want to just go with what everybody else was going with and just call it a day, right? Um, you actually wanted change. You actually wanted to like do something different with your life, right? You wanted to do something different, and yeah, I commend you for that. And I commend me for that too, because a lot of people aren't willing to take that challenge on because it's not the easiest thing to go against the grain, especially with the dynamic and the foundation that you've been accustomed to, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
We need to lead the people with something to a call to action.
Hmm.
I know we kind of touched on a few topics,
Yeah.
but what would you say? What would you suggest someone do if they are in that space of they feel stuck or they feel like they are, kind of what we were talking about earlier with kind of staying stagnant because of that fear or doubt or, looking for clarity or whatever the case may be. And even
Mhm.
if they have a good reason, like life is lifing, but what would you suggest?
Well, for one, I would suggest you go to the link in my description and go get the video, the beginner's guide. It's called The First Breath, the beginner's guide to helping you to step into your true authenticity and to become the greatest version of yourself. Because that is going to help you to find yourself amidst the noise, amidst the chaos. Because honestly, it's so much noise going on right now. And you have probably never had the proper tools to really overcome whatever situation that was in your life. You just kind of just dealt with it the best way you knew how. And in some cases, you kind of sedated yourself so that way you didn't have to feel the feelings of them. So, yeah, meditation can really help to get an understanding of what it is that you have going on and how to really help you to overcome that, right? Overcome whatever it is that you're feeling in that moment. So I would say start by getting still. Like get still and just find a moment of stillness and peace where you can really just recalibrate yourself, because we're always moving. There's always something to do, or if there's nothing to do, you find something to do that can keep you distracted from you going within to really figure out who you are. So give yourself 5 minutes, 10 minutes to just sit in silence and just ask yourself questions, like without any distractions. Leave your phone in another room, go into another room and just sit there in silence and ask yourself, like, okay, who am I currently? Where do I desire to be? And allow the answers to show up for you, right? It's not the easiest thing to do at first, but over time, it gradually gets better and better the more you do it, because you are creating a new habit for yourself. So that's what I would say.
I like it. I like it. Good. And I mean, I would say,
Yeah,
of
what did
course,
you say?
like that is great. And yes, go to his link. Listen, like $47 is nothing. Like, especially if it could change your life and make you have a little more peace, like that you can't, that's something that people can't take away, right? Like you can't take away peace, you can't take away knowledge.
Mm.
So that's priceless. Um, but I would definitely recommend, of course, to go to season 2, episode 4 that we have, because we had this series where we talked about that episode specifically talked about where are you headed and how to find clarity. So and confidence in your next move. I think that is a good place to start as well, especially if this conversation resonated for you. Listen, we do these all the time. And this, we be lit, okay? We be lit with these conversations. Like, we drop so many gems. So go to that episode. We'll actually have it linked here as well so that you can watch it, because I think that would definitely help somebody and help you to kind of get a little bit of clarity, feel a little more grounded, a little less lost, and a little less alone. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we all want, right?
Mm, definitely.
That's what I would say. And yeah, I mean, I think this was good, and just remember, growth doesn't happen in the usual places.
And neither do we.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Beyond the Usual podcast, where we don't just talk about it.
We go beyond it. For sure. For sure. Until next time, everybody, peace and progress.
Peace, y'all.